What's up guys, Dan Watson, LearningCameras.com, and I've got a Metabones adapter on the a7RII Mark II, and I've got a Canon 7200 f2.8 IS2 on here, and I wanted to test the autofocus in a way that you can kind of try and see this as it's happening rather than just take my word for it, because the results are actually way better than I thought they would be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a focus point here. And you can see as soon as I press the button, it focuses instantly. I'm going to move it. Ready, set, go. And you can see there's just a tiny bit of hesitation and almost nothing really. This is very, very quick. I wouldn't see this as really an issue. The only time you're going to have an issue, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to take it and focus all the way to infinity, and this is where it's a little bit slower on mirrorless cameras. So when you go all the way wide on your focus and then try to achieve focus, it is just a little bit more difficult. And so that's kind of the slow part. Other than that, I'm going to say that this thing works absolutely unbelievably. I'm not having any issues, and this is with a very small focus point. So let me go ahead and change that. Got it set to single autofocus, and I'm going to go change my point. And then scroll, and I'm going to use, let's go for just a larger spot, and let's see where this is. I'm going to move that around. So we're going to go a little, we'll go just right there, and you can see that's picking that up, and I'm having no issues with it focusing extremely quickly and nailing these shots with two subjects that are pretty far apart. So that should kind of show you guys this is obviously a lot better than I expected, and definitely a feature that I didn't think would be that good. And another thing I wanted to say is I'm shooting this with the Canon 5D Mark III, so stay tuned for some comparisons with the a7RII Mark II and the Canon 5D III, because this is a pretty sweet system being able to use my Canon lenses with this. So we'll run a couple more tests and see how that goes.
I did want to just let you know that this particular adapter only works with Canon lenses, and they have to be branded after 2006. So any non-Canon lenses, like my Tamron 24-70 f2.8 VC and my Canon 50mm f1.4 and 85mm 1.8 will not work, because one is a Tamron and the other ones are Canon lenses that came out before 2006. So that's the adapter's weakness, not necessarily the camera itself. So there might be other adapters that are not so limiting, but just keep it in mind if you're looking for this kind of setup, it will only work with your newer Canon lenses.
So I want to show you I've got continuous focus now set on, and so with continuous focus on, you can see that this thing is tracking as I'm going through with absolutely zero issues at all. And yeah, I mean, I have no issues moving around the frame, and this thing is locking on my targets as I'm going through without even trying. So here we go. Let's do a quick tracking test right here. We've got a car coming by, and yeah, I mean, I had no issues locking focus on that. Everything seemed to go really well, very fast, spot on. I can't complain at all. Really, the only differences are going to be dealing with your standard mirrorless focus issues, and those are almost non-existent on the a7RII Mark II like they were on previous mirrorless cameras. So definitely the fastest way to autofocus, both using Sony lenses as well as Canon lenses. So stay tuned for all of the other tests coming up soon. The a7RII Mark II full review, as well as a comparison with the Canon 5D III. All of it's coming up, so subscribe and stay tuned.